Hello and welcome to another Feedback Friday. Hi guys, how are you? Well, today I have a very interesting Friday feedback for you. Now, it is a pain threshold for many students. There are students out there who are not around in their early 20s. They might be slightly older than that. Okay, I'm not going to embarrass my guest for asking his age. I'm not going to do that. But basically, there are lots of students who are coming into the UK with their families and they've had a career. They've worked up the professional ladder, they've had qualifications, they have work experience, they have money, they've established their families and their careers. And then after that, they're actually coming into the UK to study as a master's student. But the question is this, as the title suggests, my guest actually has a long study gap and he'll tell you all about that. Now, before I bring him along, what has this got to do with you and me? Well, basically, I am from UK Bright Education. I'm the CEO. So basically, if you have any requirements, if you'd like an admission for a UK university, if you'd like an admission at a UK university, all you need to do is to DM me direct. My words, I can't seem to get them out. What's wrong with me? Right. Without further ado, here's my guest, Ibrahim. Here he comes. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Hey, hello, Malik Salam. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, Ibrahim?
Oh, it's fine. I'm doing great. And
Good,
you?
good, good. I'm fine, thank you. Right, I'm not going to embarrass you about your age, but could you at least, if you don't mind, could you at least tell me honestly how long was your study gap? I'm going to say was.
Yeah, so it was 14 years actually.
Wow.
Yeah, in
Okay,
between, yes. So
brilliant.
yeah,
It's been 14
it's
years.
really a long time. Yeah.
Right. I've actually done a bit of research on Ibrahim. Basically, he has an impressive
Thank you.
CV. Alhamdulillah, I'm really proud of you. I mean, from that, he's come to study in the UK, so there must be reasons. So I would like to ask you, what were you doing before you were studying, if you don't mind me asking?
Okay, so I would like to start from when I just finished my first degree.
Okay.
So like every other person around that age, I got a job because obviously I needed money. So
Yes.
I had a job in sales, which I did for just about a year. Then I moved on to another job, but it was also about sales and marketing, and that was the good part. But I
Right.
moved on from selling physical products all the way to selling price information, which is service. And that gave me a bit of background on how to be able to do both of those things. And after about 3, 4 years, I also moved to another job where I did also a bit of sales and marketing. And finally, I opened shop. I started my own business. I felt I'd gotten enough experience to start. So I did started my own business, which is
Okay.
consulting and training business owners in sales and marketing. So that's what I've been doing till I moved back to being a student again.
That's good. That's good. So, please be. You're a very humble person. I can tell. You're not telling me how many business owners you've actually trained and mentored or advised. Please give that golden figure.
So I think in my years of consulting, I can't be less than 500 businesses
Wow.
that I have had to provide advisory, mentoring, as
Mm.
well as full scale consulting for them. So typically from Nigeria, you find a lot of businesses that want to be able to do well in sales and marketing. They're just starting, they want to expand, they need
Right.
training for their staff. So I provide all those kind of services for them.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So then, I don't. Audiences, if you want to agree or disagree, please tell me in the chat box. I'm going to confirm, Ibrahim, you had a really good, stable career. Okay, and it spanned for a very long time, and despite that, then you decided to change and you wanted to study in the UK. So, what made you decide to come to study in the UK?
So, so back to your first question. I had a very stable career. I would
Mm.
argue that it was actually getting better. So,
Mm.
the Nigerian government
Yeah.
had already just a organization under Nigeria, SMEDAN. It
Mm.
handles small and medium scale businesses in Nigeria. Has given so they want to be able to more or less reformat the consultancy services in Nigeria. So
Okay.
typically before in Nigeria, anybody could just be a consultant for small business. But now you have to be a licensed service provider.
All
So I
right.
was among the first people to be a
Mm.
licensed service provider in Nigeria. That was 2 years ago. And this is more or less the time that the benefit of being a licensed service provider will be. But I decided to be able to further my education at this period because I saw value in doing that. And I think it's one of the reasons why the Montfort, and I'm sure maybe that's a question you have for later on, were able to give me admission because they obviously noted that study gap and they asked the question why, right?
Mm.
I think one of the key things that I was able to show them was a clear relation between what I was doing, how this masters was going to help
Yeah.
me improve what I was doing, and what the future would look like. So I had to make sure there was a clear correlation in the three of those things.
So okay, hold on, stop. You're going very fast now. So basically, you're trying to
Yes,
say that you okay, very, look at this guy. He's such a humble dude. So basically, not only was it stable, you were actually going somewhere. You're getting accreditation for the profession that you were in, and then
yes,
you decide to apply. And De Montfort University, what they want what your job was to correlate what you were doing in Nigeria to what you want to do in the future. Is that what you're trying to say?
yes. So they wanted to know. So why now? I mean, after
Why
14
now? That's the
years,
main
yeah,
golden question. Yeah, yeah,
yes. Why now? And for
yeah.
me, it was a clear case of, like I said, my job, my consultancy was
Mm-hmm.
providing sales and marketing advisory as well as training. I'm a marketing master student here at the Montfort. Now, there are two things. As you know, marketing and sales could be the same thing across the globe, but there's also the aspect of culture. Well, I'll be humble to say I'm quite a master at understanding how marketing and sales is done in Africa as a
Mm-hmm.
whole. But
Okay.
there's a cultural difference here, especially in Europe. I wanted to experience that. I wanted to know that aspect because having those two, my background in the Nigerian knowledge, as well as having extra knowledge in the UK here,
Right.
combining those two will make my services just more better. It means that my business will grow. It means that I'll be able to provide more for my clients going forward. So for me, and when I explained it to the Montfort, it was clear that there was a valid reason why I wanted to take this leap right now. That it was almost like this was the right time. This
Hmm.
was, yeah. So it absolutely
Mm.
made sense. Yeah.
Right. So basically, was that in the personal statement or was that in a credibility interview? How did you come? How did you pass this message on, Ibrahim?
Okay, so when I got my cars,
Yeah.
it was provisional, of course, but
Okay.
they wanted me. So there was a form that they asked. They sent the form to me. But what he basically asked was, "Why now?" That was the key question. So we noticed that you do have a gap. Why now? And so I just took to break it down for our audience. I broke it down
Mm-hmm.
into three different places. Number one, I was clear about my objectives. I wanted to be able to provide better services to my customers. Having a master's in marketing management was going to enable me to do that. That was clear. Secondly, I was clear about how what I was doing right now would tie into having a master's. So, like I said, I was providing these services already. Understanding how it's been done across
Mm-hmm.
the ocean in Europe would also add because I had a couple of customers too that studied and lived in UK, right? So combining those two would ensure that not only is my content richer, but it will add more value to the customers, right? And I also just clearly showed them how the MSc was going to move me to a bigger platform, right? Clearly, I mean, the knowledge you get is incredible. It gives you different perspectives from right, and you begin to see things from different lens, and that's the beauty about life, being able to see things from different perspectives. So the key thing for me was that I was clear about my objectives. I was clear how having this master's or doing it right now is going to add value to me and my business, and as well as my customers going forward.
Right. If you don't mind me expanding on, I'm not doing an interview, but well, actually, it is an
Yeah,
interview.
yeah.
Right. You said earlier you had clear objectives. Do you actually mean that what is my career plan and how the masters will help me towards my? Is that what you mean?
Exactly. So
Okay,
part
fine.
of my
I get it
job,
now.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So part of my job is to also get my clients to be clear about their objectives. So I had to apply my own medicine to myself and say,
Okay,
Ibrahim,
get it.
what do you want to do in 5 years' time? Where do you see yourself? What do you want to do? And what do you require in terms of resources for you to be able to do that? And then I sat down, I wrote a list, and I chose the Montfort because it had a couple of very good advantages.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully, I've been right about it
Okay.
and everything clicked. Everything went well. They clearly saw the reason why I wanted to be here despite that gap, and they believed that it was valid and it was worth doing. So I think for anyone that has that kind of gap, it's important. Just be clear, be honest. Honesty is very important, but be clear about how it's going to help you. And I believe that once you're clear about that, I mean, they will see the value, they will see the reason why this is the right time for
Brilliant, brilliant. Do you know what? It's so refreshing to hear you say honesty is the best policy, because do you know what? I say that all the time.
you.
I
It
say that
is. It is.
honestly, Ibrahim, when students give me their personal statements, they give me lots of stuff which is probably paraphrased from Google, but no, what's in your head is specific to you. Nobody else.
Yes,
There's no other Ibrahim. There's only one, right, in this world. So only you can convince with your personal authenticity that I want to do this master's because this will help my career, it will help my future career by A, Y, and Z. So you are
exactly.
with honesty and detail. Did you have to be very detailed in your career
Yeah,
objective?
I was clear. So I was clear about what I had done, what I
Okay.
was currently doing, and how, if I do have this master's degree, how that will
Mhm.
help, not just in terms of content delivery, but also in terms of revenue for myself. Of course, I do like to make more money than I was making before. So,
Yeah, yeah. No, that's the reason why, isn't it?
yeah,
The reason
yeah,
why we do masters is for money, to get better money, not just what we're
exactly,
doing now, but better. Okay.
exactly.
Did you actually had to explain a career plan, like a 5-year career plan, that I'm going to do this, then this, then this?
So I didn't explain it like that, but I think that's a brilliant idea. I think that's a brilliant idea. So explaining it as a career plan. So I mean, so like you said,
Mm,
so where are you right now? This is where I am right now. This is what I want to do, which is to have this master's degree. And when I
okay.
do, they can clearly see the trajectory. They can see the increase. They can see the movement. And you can do that in terms of percentages, in terms of how much you can do. Like I said, a clear 5-year plan. So if you see, if I start my master's now and I finish in 18 months' time, going forward, which is 2, 3 years from now, this is where I believe I would be. And all of this will happen because I have been able to do this master's. So,
Mm.
like, I think that's a brilliant idea you just came up with. A clear career path of what your future would look like
After the master.
post. Exactly. Exactly. And
Nice.
anybody can just look at it and see the before and after, what you
Mm.
were like before the masters and how
Yeah.
much it will benefit you after the masters.
Afterwards. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. Right. So I don't think we've actually mentioned it in the caption. Could you, if you don't mind, Ibrahim, could you just tell everybody what you are studying at
Oh,
Montfort
marketing
University?
management.
Okay. So
Marketing
I mean,
at the
I
Montfort
can.
University.
Oh, fantastic. Sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you there. No, what I'm trying to say is I was actually very pleasantly surprised that despite having a very, I'm going to say a stable career, but you can argue with that. But
Yeah.
then being a marketing specialist and you're advising students, you're still doing a master's. So what is your career plan afterwards? What's your career plan?
So I mean, for me, clearly, it's about expanding my business, right?
Ah, excellent.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I think I took the right bets by doing this because clearly, in the first semester alone, I can
Hmm.
clearly see aspects of marketing that we do not generally apply, especially in Nigeria, which is my major market. And more or less, if you look at it here in Europe, most of the marketing is automated. Back home is a little bit manual, right? So get customers to get to that level, right? I mean, you go to a local pub here in the
Yeah.
UK, they have an app already. They have the barcode on the table which you can order. I
Oh,
mean, this
yeah,
is
yeah,
just
yeah. They do that.
local, yeah, very local restaurants, very local pubs, very local shops. I mean, I can imagine, and one of the biggest problems in Nigeria for most businesses is that there's a lot of market, but access to that market is limited. Not only because of just no internet, but because there is no connection, there's no bridge. And this is where marketing plays a key role. So what
Mm.
it will help me is be able to ensure that I can be able to help businesses automate, not to copy what is being done here, but to do it in a Nigerian way and to do what to be able to do it in a better way. So yes, that's my objective. That's what I aim to
Oh.
achieve going forward.
Do you know what, Ibrahim? I'm so glad you said that. Just explain in the Nigerian way. There's a reason why I'm glad you said that. It's because I'm a direct agent for Montfort University. I know that the application goes direct to Nigeria because we
Yes,
have a head office there. We have an office in Montfort University office in Nigeria, and it's the Nigerian team who receives it. So you know,
yeah,
you said think like a Nigerian or any West African person or any part of the world.
yeah,
I'm going to talk about West Africa now. So basically, they receive it. So then, if you talk honestly with authenticity, with a clear plan, like you said, with clear objectives, they will relate to it and they can see through your genuinity and your motivation.
yeah,
So
yeah.
So that's
I totally agree. I mean, so you're talking to people that understand the context in which you're speaking.
yeah.
So I mean, like both of us said, if you're honest and you have a clear plan, I
Should
think you're
pull you
good to
through.
go.
It should pull you
Yeah.
through. Brilliant. Okay, well, so I was just going to say, do you have any advice or tips you'd give to anybody who's watching here who may have a study gap for, let's say, more than 5 years? Do you have any pearls of wisdom you'd give
I mean,
to anybody who's watching?
yeah, so for anybody that is watching, I think it's quite straightforward. And so just be clear about what you're doing right now. I think that's
Okay.
what you do. So outline what you're doing right now,
Mm-hmm.
outline the masters that you want to do, what you want to show beyond those two things,
Okay.
how clearly your life, your career, your business would move forward when you have
Because,
access. Yes, because of this, right? So,
got it.
I mean, everybody wants to move forward, whether you have spent 20 years postgraduate, you want to move forward. So, if this is the key necessary step that you need to do, and you clearly believe that it will
Mm.
give you an advantage, then I think you're on the right track.
Brilliant, brilliant. I think you've just hit the nail on the head that how will this degree help me in my future at the
Yes,
end of the day?
exactly.
So you have to come
Exactly.
across that you can't live without it. You need it.
Yeah.
It's a necessity. You got to say not I love the university, I love the
No,
library.
no,
No,
no, no.
no, no, no.
So, like for me, as you can imagine, I was living a quite stable life in Nigeria, well established. Just like an every average Nigerian, there was absolutely no, but it became a necessity. I had to do it,
Mm,
right? So, and I think they saw that need in how I expressed it. That if I want to move forward, this is what I
you
needed
needed
to
it.
do.
You need it.
Exactly. Yes.
Brilliant,
Exactly.
brilliant, brilliant. Well, I wish you all the best, and
Thank
I'm sure
you.
you'll come out with first class, no doubt, with the experience. You have a good mentor, Professor David Gordon. He is a really cool guy, very
Yes.
supportive, very supportive.
Absolutely brilliant.
Mhm.
I'm glad that I have the opportunity to reach out to him. Very simple, straightforward. I actually reached out to him just on LinkedIn from Nigeria, and he was very helpful, even without knowing me or
Yes.
seeing me in the first place. So
Oh,
yes, yeah,
we're very fortunate to have Professor, Associate Professor David Gordon.
yes.
He will be my guest next week for his other programs with another student. So
Oh
watch
yes,
out
I'll
for that.
definitely be watching. I'll definitely be watching. Yes,
Brilliant.
definitely. All
Well,
right.
like I said, I wish you all the best. We only expect first class, no pressure from us. And yeah, keep in touch. Do keep in touch.
I
Okay.
will. I will. Thank
All
you.
right. Take
All
care, buddy.
right. Bye
Love
bye.
this.
Take care.
Bye. Oh, that's okay. I don't know how you feel about this, but can you see? It's a bit cliquey, I know, but honesty does seem to be the best policy. If you really need that master's, you need to come across that in your personal statement or in your credibility interview or wherever it is. But if you just show that, look, I need this degree for me to move on. I need this degree in order for my business to be better. I need this degree so I can be the next stage in my professional career. Can you see where this is going? Right. I have got some students who are asking questions. Let's see before you guys go. Miss Conmore, I was the one that talked to you about my partner's admission lately. Okay. I'll come back to you, Miss Con, if that's okay. Next person, let's have a look. Okay, we have a question. It's in Bangla. Hello, Mahir. We have met here before. Without IELTS, is it possible to get a conditional offer 7 years study gap? I think you need to contact me. There are other types of online English language tests you can do where they would be accepted, e.g., the ELLT test. Many universities accept that. If you'd like to do it through me, I can even help you with to reduce the price a bit more, not a problem. 7 year gap, it's not a problem. But DM me direct and we can take it from there. Right, any more? We've got some more advice. Okay, fine. Brilliant. So I'm going to move this. Right. So the whole point of this is if you have a study gap, don't fear, go for it. Okay. UK policies is welcoming international students. While the policy is student friendly, my friends, and if you have the means and if you have the qualifications, apply. Okay. If you think that is something for you, why don't you to DM me direct with your CV? I've written down my email address just there. Okay, send you CV, give me your degree CGPA, your degree completion date, and your English language, what you got for WIAC or NECO or IELTS or whatever, and then we'll take it from there. I hope that was helpful. and I look forward to hearing from you soon. By the way, next week I have Associate Professor David Gordon again, and this time he is a program leader for several courses. So I thought, no, we need to bring him on for a different course. So he'll be bringing a guest with him as well, and I hope you can join me. Until next time, my friends, take care. Bye bye.